Welcome to Geek Out of Say, episode 84. We pre-started the start, but everything's cool now. Episode 84. Hey, we're almost to 85.
Yes, it's going to be interesting when we get to episode 100 if you have everybody back. If you have Kayla and Mike and Matt and Michelle and Vince and me. And who else has been on the show, Vince?
Omar.
Omar? Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Panda. I forgot you. Uh-oh.
Oh.
And now Al can hear the playback, too. So there should be volume down at the bottom. So Al's helping us this week.
There's actually...
No, that's quite all right.
That's
this
my
is
bad.
what
I should
happens.
have checked that. It might be on the actual... what is it? You got it?
We're muted.
All right, good deal.
Good. That works.
Hey, this happens. So Al has been very gracious to help us out over here and run the cameras so Vince didn't have to go back and forth and so he could chat.
Yeah, it was crazy last week.
It was a little crazy.
It was definitely, wait, what am I doing? Who's next? And then I would forget and I'd just leave it on Colleen.
It's just me talking.
Just for a while.
Talking.
Yeah. I'd like have this entire whole conversation and then it's just you.
It's just me.
You're prettier than I am, though.
Oh, thank you. Isn't he sweet, people?
So,
I'm like not going to say anything else. I'm just going to leave it right there.
So the main thing that I posted today was that we're going to be talking about tabletop games that were made into movies.
Or tabletop games that shouldn't be made into movies.
Well, yeah, but they still were made into movies, so...
Well, there's not a whole lot of tabletop that have been made into movies yet. We've got Clue, which I'm not going to lie, I really like Tim Curry. Like, really, really like Tim Curry when it comes to acting.
Yeah.
Rocky Horror, then Clue. I mean, in that order. So,
Oscar.
Oh, he was
He
good
was
in
an
Oscar.
Oscar, yeah.
He's been in a lot of stuff. You would be surprised when you look it up. You're like, oh, that's Tim Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's Tim Curry. He was in Fern Gully. I have this thing for animated features, and he is the ooey gooey muck in Fern Gully. He's really good in that too. Oh, I digress. Okay,
But
so Clue is one, and then one not successful one was Battleship, right? Is that?
Well, Battleship, I mean, it was loosely based on the game.
How was it loosely based? Because they were
It
in
was just
battleships?
No. Just at one part where they did like the grid because of the buoys that were out there.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then we were like, oh, that's where it is. Okay.
That's how it was loosely based.
I guess.
Because it could detect the waves.
So that they could hit the monsters or something
Yeah.
like that. I don't even remember. I just
but
remember
you weren't
Eric
even
was
going
in
up
it from
against
True
other
Blood.
battleships or other ships. You were going up against these kaiju things.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know what they were. So the newest one that we've seen.
Yes, with the big one that you see up here.
Right,
If
and
you see
because
it
we're
up
part
there,
of the
it's,
industry, it's something that we look out for, right?
Yes, Settlers of Catan.
Right, Settlers of Catan.
So I know a lot of people play this game. People get on me for this. I don't like the game. I don't like resource games.
I don't either, and I'm sorry to our cameraman Al, but you can blame Al's son Daniel Griego. That's Daniel Griego. Don't play Catan with Daniel. He's really cutthroat and dangerous. He was the first one to teach me Catan, and I left crying practically because I didn't have a resource to my name. I did not know what I was doing, and that was him being nice. I'm serious. So I don't know. I'm not a real resource gatherer game type of person. But billions people love this game.
Tons. So they're gonna make. I don't know how they're going to do this. It again. It probably needs to be loosely based.
I've read some pretty hilarious fan fiction, quote unquote, what they think the script is gonna be like, and it's pretty funny how boring they think it's gonna really be. So I'm interested to see what it's actually going to look like. If it's going to be more, I don't know, fantasy based, because it's going to have to be in that time frame, medieval time frame-esque. So I don't know. I'll be curious to see what it's going to be like. I that there are other games.
But do you know about, they're going to do Settlers of Catan, but you know that they did another movie last year called Lords of Catan, or Lord of Catan.
No, I didn't know that. I
It
hadn't heard that
was
one.
with Amy Acker and who was the name of that other guy from Dollhouse?
Was it a Joss Whedon?
It wasn't Joss Whedon, but it was people from Joss Whedon movies.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was kind of a B.
So
C,
it was
D,
like
E,
a
F.
husband and wife that are playing Catan together, and then how it like breaks them apart, or
Shut up.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
That sounds awesome and hilarious. Lord of Catan.
But Lord of Catan
We'll
it
check
came
it
out
out.
last year.
Okay, we'll check it out and then we'll report back and let you guys know what we think. But we've had this discussion before about games, like board games becoming movies. I know one of the ones that we talked about is Monopoly, because Vince loves Monopoly. Vince loves to cheat at Monopoly. Let's
I don't
just get
cheat
that
at
straight.
Monopoly. I'm
Okay,
just
ask his family.
really good at it.
Okay.
I'm just really, really good at it.
The way Daniel makes people cry at Catan, that's how Vince does with Monopoly. He makes people cry. They rage quit Monopoly, okay? I mean, everyone who plays Monopoly rage quits Monopoly, but Vince makes it worse. So what were we saying? Okay, so it would be Donald Trump and Ivanka.
Well, we talked about this, that this never aired, because we've talked about this before.
Oh, that's right. We were going to do a segment. That's right.
We did a segment before, and somehow in between studios, they got lost.
Yeah.
So I had done more research this week, and I found out that somebody actually is doing something for Monopoly.
Oh, shut up.
No,
Okay, so who
really.
are they going to cast? Because I was thinking like
Well,
Paris Hilton.
It's just in the back works of what they're doing, so nothing's really been done about it, but somebody has the rights to do it.
I mean, I want to kind of see like Monopoly / Real World / Big Brother or something. Like put all these really rich people in there and give them X amount of money and some property or something and just let them have at each other and see what happens. I don't know. That's my idea. It's kind of like
The Apprentice or something.
Oh, shut up. You suck. Okay, there's a show like that. Okay, never mind. I digress. All right, pick another board game then.
But we had talked about this, what we would do for it. It'd have to be like Paris Hilton, or something like that, with the piece is the dog, so that her little dog in her purse.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And I've always wanted
I don't know.
to see...
People hate Monopoly.
I'm a real RPG player, so I would rather see like a good RPG turned into a really good movie. I've always wanted to see a really good D&D movie.
We did.
Saw...
Wait.
Shut up.
The one with Jeremy Irons was a pretty good movie.
No, you like all movies. No, it's not.
That wasn't a bad movie. You even liked that one.
Everybody in the studio just laughed.
That was the one with the Wayans brother, wasn't it?
Yes.
That wasn't good.
It wasn't good. Yeah,
I liked it.
People have varying degrees of laughability in here. Let's just agree to disagree. But, when we were watching Seventh Son, so we went and saw Seventh Son this week, that was almost closer to a D&D type movie without having D&D in the title. It felt D&D-esque. So I'm looking for something like that, I think.
With a lot less dungeons.
No. I mean, that's the point of Dungeons and Dragons is dungeons. So more dungeons. Or you mean Seventh Son had less dungeons?
Less dungeons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but you don't have to have dungeons. It depends on your GM.
Yeah.
DM, whatever you want to call it. So.
Dungeon Master.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, no. What are some other games that should be made into? Because they've already done it for Dungeons and Dragons. They've made several movies, even TV movies for Dungeons and Dragons. They've even done a cartoon for Dungeons and Dragons.
I love the cartoon. Don't judge me. I love the cartoon. Please don't judge me.
You have it right there, don't you?
No, I put it
Somewhere.
away.
You put it away?
I'm going to watch it again this week.
You're gonna watch it at Game Expo.
Game Expo! But one of the best movie game scenes I've ever seen when I'm looking at your desk actually thinking about it is the chess from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That is one that I really thought came across really well.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that you could do a whole 2-hour movie on that. What else could you do a whole 2-hour movie on game-wise? There's so many games nowadays.
Yeah, and there's so
Red
many.
Dragon Inn. I mean, that would be funny.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
It'd be short.
So maybe game movies. Well, I don't know. Some
See,
of
because
these games can
if it's a game movie, you have to loosely base it on the game. Clue was different, just because Clue is the genre, though.
Yeah.
It's a murder mystery.
Right, so it's kind of easy to do the whole murder mystery. And then there's so many games nowadays that are based on TV shows or movies or something that's already out there, like the dreaded Game of Thrones game.
Like I heard Candyland is...
I had heard that too, Candyland. So is it like a Hansel and Gretel
have
type
no
thing?
idea.
You've got to make it through the... I don't get it. Like... Because there's no real storyline behind Candyland, aside from you're just moving through the Candyland and you're the first one to the finish.
I hate Candyland.
You do?
Yeah.
Why? Do you actually lose at that one?
No. It's because I don't lose.
Whatever.
That's why I hate Monopoly now. It's because I never lose.
You hate Monopoly
It's
because I
so
rage
hard.
quit every time.
Yeah, and because you rage quit.
I do. I have anger issues. Sounds to game. We should just play nothing together because
No,
you're a
never.
horrible cheater.
Thomas is on.
Hi, Thomas.
Trouble. I want Trouble or Shoots and Ladders. They did a joke that Shoots and Ladders was going to be a movie, but it's not.
No, that's not fun.
No, then you
That's
can't
not
do
fun.
anything with Shoots and Ladders.
And was
Trouble.
Was Jumanji and Zathura ever games before those movies, or they
No.
weren't games after, right? And
Games
they weren't not
after.
successful games after the movies. Those were kind of good game-based movies. I liked both of those, as far as premises go. What else could we turn into?
A really good
Sorry.
D&D movie was called Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah, I guess. But that's Lord of
Ninjas
the
and
Rings.
Super Spies. What game is that?
I haven't played that one. What about a Steve Jackson? Munchkin? Munchkin would be
Illuminati.
hard.
Illuminati. I've never played Illuminati. You got to show me how to play that sometime.
Munchkin is interesting to play with a bunch of crazy people, but I don't know how they would turn it into, like, I mean, I guess you go looting and you open the door and there's monsters and the whole group has to do something, or...
And it's
know.
all with little people. Well, it's Munchkin.
No, I get it.
It's all going to be
Little short people.
little people. And then devoted to little people. I don't know.
Like, I don't get it. King of Tokyo is already kind of a game. Because you got King Kong and Godzilla and everything.
Yeah, but
That so reminds me of Rampage, the video
done.
game.
It does.
Every time I see that, I'm like, Rampage! I love that video game. That is a video game I can play. We were talking last week about video games that I can't play. I can totally play Rampage because all you have to do is jump on there and like pound on stuff and eat little people. I can do that. I'll be like, yay! I beat
If
the
you're
enemy.
watching us right now, if you want to talk to us, because there's like 7 people that are like live chatting with us right now. If you want to talk to us, go ahead and look down. If you're on geekoutusa.com, there's going to be a chat window down there. Just type in if you want to ask us questions. And we know Thomas and Puck are in there right now asking some questions. But
Yeah, if y'all have any game suggestions that we should come up with movie lines for, we'll try to think of something off the cuff. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. What about, okay, so I've seen everybody having like a hissy fit about the new animated Zelda that's going to be coming out. So what about video games? We kind of didn't touch on.
No, it's live action Zelda.
Netflix live action, that's right.
Netflix
Netflix live action
yeah.
Zelda. So what, well, I mean, wouldn't you love to see Metal Gear become a movie?
Yeah.
I mean, kind of for me, since I don't play video games
That,
well and I watch you guys, it's almost like I'm watching a movie anyway. So,
I wonder if they could do it like Halo, or how they did the Halo movie, or how they did
They had a live action Halo movie?
No, it wasn't live action, but it was the CGI. But the whole thing was CGI. Oh,
The only good thing
Final
about
Fantasy.
Halo was Red versus Blue. Oh, Final Fantasy was pretty good.
That was a good movie.
Red versus Blue is funny.
Yeah.
That's the only Halo thing that's good. Red versus Blue.
We digress. These are not tabletop games.
That's true. They're not tabletop. I'm sorry. I get distracted too easily. I'm like, oh, shiny. Oh, shiny things. Oh. So what else about tabletop games? I know
Ninjas and Super Spies was an old RPG, Thomas says.
So almost like our RPG, kind of ish,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because our RPG is about the organization. It's an organization of spies, and
There's some ninjas in there.
there's some ninjas because you have to have ninjas. Like, why not, right?
And monkeys,
There's monkeys.
but no pirates.
Not yet,
Not yet.
but maybe. But yeah, there are a lot of
Modern-day pirates.
spy-esque movies, though, so... But ninjas and super spies. That almost reminds me of that room from Wayne's World. Right? Isn't it Wayne's World where he opens the door and he's just got the room full of ninjas or whatever?
I haven't seen that in a long time. I think Metal Gear would make a better TV series than Zelda. I think you're right, Buck. I wonder who Puck is. I haven't seen Puck before.
I don't know. He has some good insight, though. Thanks, Buck.
Yeah.
Okay, so back... I'm sorry. We digressed again. So back to tabletop.
Tabletop.
Think. What have we played recently? We've been playing a lot of deck builders. What about Dominion? Dominion's that same kind of almost resource gathering, although it's
Yeah.
through a deck builder. I don't know how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm. But then we just played one aspect of it. Dominion encompasses a whole bunch of other things.
We
What
got
is
a
that?
copy of Dominion in from Rio Grande Games, which is really nice. Thank you, Rio Grande Games. They actually sent us several games. They sent us Dominion, Pressure Cooker. Let me look real quick. I have to look it up because I wanted to say thanks. And didn't we receive some other games too?
Yeah, we got some from Cryptozoic today, actually.
Cryptozoic Entertainment. That is awesome.
And we got the DC deck builder with everything, all the expansions with it. So that was really cool. When I opened up that box, it says, "What?
What?
Did we really get all that?" Yeah, we did. So, and you can see it at Game Expo.
Game Expo. Yeah, so we got Pressure Cooker, Race for the Galaxy, Battle Bones, and Dominion from Rio Grande Games. So I wanted to give Rio Grande Games a shout out. Then we got the DC Deck Builder from Cryptozoic Entertainment. So I wanted to give them a shout out. So the game companies are sending us these games to put in the game library so that we have games to demo for you guys, not only at the convention but at events. So I wanted to talk really quickly. International Tabletop Day is coming up on April 11th.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to be in the morning, starting out. We're going to be at Pier 1 hosting downtown, and we're going to start putting up some flyers. Nathan, who's working on that, is working up the flyer for that. We're going to have our game library there.
Mm-hmm.
We're also, Al's going to be at Dragon's Lair with some of his MIBs, which are Men in Black. If you don't know, they work with Steve Jackson Games. They're going to be there at Dragon's Lair. We're going to have some events at Heroes and Fantasies, at the new Magic Beans Gaming Cafe. So look all of these people up on Facebook. Hit them up. Go out there to the events.
Magic Beans.
I'm working with some volunteers right now. So they have games there. So we're probably just going to send some of our new minions. They're going to be red shirts. And they're going to go out and like demo games and stuff at these different places so that you guys can kind of get a feel for some of the games. If you've never played them, this is a good way to go out there and try them, because we know that sometimes the games can run, $50, $60. So before you drop a chunk of change on a board game, this is a good way to go out, kind of try the games out and see if you like them. And what better time to do it than International Tabletop Day?
Buck says, recently my friends got me on Red Dragon Inn based off of D&D characters. I really enjoyed it. I saw the link in Indianapolis Indie Con group.
Oh yeah. Hi.
What link?
I put that up there. I got that from a friend who's in the biz, showing me what it's like for cons. So I'm kind of spreading the word about the show because we don't just talk about San Antonio. I know it's Geek Out SA because we're in San Antonio, but I've been trying to spread the word throughout the country because talk about all
We still
kinds of
haven't
stuff.
changed it because of what's his name? Stan Lee.
Oh,
He changed
Stan
our
Lee
name.
changed our name to Geek Out USA.
He changed
He's
it to
so
Geek Out
cute.
USA.
He couldn't hear you,
I couldn't, but
but he's so sweet and cute.
he's
He's
a
a very
really,
nice
really
man.
nice guy.
Like a super
really
nice guy.
guy.
Yeah.
So it was really, really an honor to meet him. So, but yeah, Geek Out SA, do a lot of stuff. But we've been talking a lot of movies, but there's a movie that I've been looking at that seems pretty cool, which is Tron 3?
Oh.
I don't know if they're going to call it. It's the sequel to the Tron Legacy.
So you
But
like all movies. We know that pretty much.
You
He
didn't
likes
like
all movies.
Tron Legacy?
I didn't hate it. Let's go there.
You didn't hate it.
Didn't hate it.
Okay. I liked it,
You did like
but
it.
I like all movies.
I know. But what did you like about it?
13.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
No, what is the Tron cartoon that we watched?
Or AKA Olivia Wilde.
yeah, but what's that Tron cartoon we watched? That almost was better than
What Tron cartoon? Oh,
Not
yeah,
Tron.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was an animated. Was it a feature or it was no? It was like several episodes. We watched it
Yeah.
on Amazon Prime or Netflix
Something
or
like
something
that.
like that. I like that better. I have an animated thing though. I think I do. I like the animated feature better.
Mhm.
I didn't hate it. Well, so what are you hoping that they do with Tron 3? Like, where do they go?
I don't know. Do they do something more with Tron? Because they didn't really show Tron much at all
In Legacy?
in Legacy. I would like them to actually do more with Tron.
I mean, just to be fair and to be honest, what do we all want to see? We want to see the grid. We want to see them racing. We want to see that. That's what we want to
Yeah.
see. That's what we
We
want
want
to
to see the racing.
Yeah. We want to see all of those games. So I think as long as they're pretty heavy handed with that kind of stuff, most of us will be okay with it. At least, I mean, let me give them credit. At least they're going forward with a newer ish concept and they're building on an old concept rather than let's remake this old movie from the 80s to monopolize on all the 40 somethings who loved all that stuff.
I paid for it.
Yeah, but
Did you
they're
like that, Al?
adding to that.
You didn't like that movie?
It was okay.
See?
I just,
Okay.
the
producer
CGI
says
they
it's
had to do on Jeff Bridges was not as good as it could have been.
There you go.
Yeah, the CGI was pretty bad on him. And the actor who played Tron. It was pretty bad on him too.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting.
They
But
should
I
have
don't-
just they should just age them in there.
Yeah.
Because other characters aged that were programs.
Well, yeah, programs age. I mean, we get rid of things and we don't need them anymore. They become old or obsolete. So what's the difference
But they
in
physically got older.
Well, it's a symbolism.
But not them.
Symbolism. Yes? No? I don't know. Anyway, I was just trying to say that I appreciate the fact that they're trying to like move forward with Tron and like make it into something else instead of remaking the original one over and over again.
Mhm.
That's what I was.
Well, I think
some
it
other
was a plus that
things.
Olivia Wilde's in there.
Get past
But I don't
it.
even
Why
know
don't
if
they
she's
put
going to
Anne
be on there
Hathaway in
this
there and
time
then
because
you'll
they
just be
didn't
happy?
really say anything about it.
That's not my genre.
There was no MCP cone on the new Tron, on Tron Legacy. That's what Tom's just said.
So that's what I mean. That's what they need to.
They need to do that.
They do.
They need to bring it back. I don't know. Things got upgraded. That's how they didn't need one. It was destroyed.
I don't know. You remember more about it than I do. It wasn't my thing. I'm like, whatever. It was Tron. There was shiny stuff. Okay. Woohoo. They crashed into each other. It was awesome. I couldn't play that game either.
So we went over the weekend to Lost in Wonderland.
We did.
So met a lot of people, had a lot of fun. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it could be bigger. I hope next time it's more. I would love to see more of the cosplayers because I have seen some of the cosplayers do some of the Alice in Wonderland, some Alice in Wonderland steampunk, and stuff like that. So I definitely
Alice in
would have
Wonderland
seen
zombies.
Yeah. Have a tea party. I definitely would have liked to have seen it go bigger, go more Alice. I could definitely go over the top with Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Disney style, not Tim Burton style necessarily.
Because it's kind of weird.
Well, no, I kind of like Tim Burton, but there are some people here in the studio who didn't, so I was trying to steer away from the snarls and sneers that I was going to get. I like Tim Burton. I like
when
his
did
weird
the hate
stuff.
start, Al?
The hatred for the Tim Burton. Was it Edward Scissorhands? Did that push you over the edge?
Was it Batman?
Oh,
Batman
that was
too.
it. That was it. It was
Batman
the
too.
second Batman that pushed him over the
It was
edge.
the Penguin.
The Penguin. Danny DeVito and Tim Burton killed it together for Al. I like Tim Burton. I like his weird stuff. My mom absolutely hates the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Just hates it. I thought it was awesome. Loved it.
There were some.
It's not Gene Wilder.
It's not Gene Wilder,
But
and there was some
him in the
aspects.
boat was like one of the best movie moments ever. Gene Wilder in the boat. Creepy.
Yes,
Ugh, gives me the shivers right now.
it was
Johnny
way
Depp
creepier
was-
than the Johnny Depp.
Yeah, Johnny Depp was like weird, creepy, like socially awkward, creepy, not like maybe I'm gonna kill you and add you to my candy, creepy. So I don't know, but I like the Tim Burton stuff. I like Edward Scissorhands. I like you know how I am with Jack Skellington, Nightmare Before Christmas, over the top for that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah.
But I hear that Tim Burton is going to try to kind of destroy something that I don't think that he should be messing with.
This is going to be a movie-heavy episode, isn't it?
It is. It just happens to be like movie heavy week. But so I hear Tim Burton is going to try to do live action Dumbo.
But at Puck saying, just pretend Tim Burton's Batman was a parody movie based on Batman within the Chris Nolan Batman universe, you'll feel better.
Thank you, Puck. He did feel better. You should see the smile on his face. That helped him a lot. So let's go back to Dumbo not needing to be live action. Let's go back to, there are certain things from Dumbo from a time period when Dumbo was made that were acceptable, that are no longer acceptable,
Wow.
that
Yeah.
cannot be used in a movie any longer, number one. Number two, like all the stuff we see lately about elephants is super depressing, and how oppressed they are and how terribly we treat them. Is this going to be like that? Is it going to be super sad, depressing, like infomercial for elephants? Because the original Disney was super short. Because it was like early in the Disney career, so I think it was only like an hour and 4 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes, something in that range. It doesn't have a lot of
I feel bad for the
substance.
elephant that they're going to have to grab onto his ears and try to pull him out so they're bigger.
And then they unfurl and everybody laughs.
But have we
It's
actually mentioned the
sad.
movie that we're talking about?
Oh, Dumbo.
Dumbo.
It's Dumbo. Did I not say it was Dumbo?
Did we say it was Dumbo?
Yeah, you did.
We did?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was like, I got so wrapped up in it. And then are they going to, they can't make the elephant drunk. That has animal rights stuff written all over it. So then where do they get the heffalumps and whatever they are? It's not heffalumps and woozles. That's Winnie the Pooh. But they're pink elephants that then become heffalumps and never mind. It's a Disney thing. Forget me. I don't know. It seems too weird. Let's not. Tim Burton, if you're listening, don't do this. It's a bad idea. Stop now while you're ahead. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I don't know.
I mean, so
I probably won't watch it.
I mean, I get it. Maleficent was great. They're making some money on turning these Disney animated things into live action. The Cinderella.
I don't know how I feel about
Cinderella.
Cinderella.
It looks good. going on Friday.
That was another thing that with the actress that's playing Cinderella, of how much weight she had to lose for that,
Oh, really? I hadn't heard
and how uncomfortable she was in like corsets
that. The
and
corsets
stuff,
and everything. That's an
and
ongoing...
how she doesn't condone that. I was like, well, then why did you do the movie like that?
Because it's got to get paid.
Because you got to get paid.
You got to get paid. You got to do what you got to do to get paid. I mean, that's an ongoing
Just don't
battle.
be two-faced. I got it. If you're gonna take the money for it, own up to it. Don't say, "Oh, I don't condone this," but I do.
But I'm going to take $1
'cause I'm
billion
getting paid.
to do it.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I mean, and that's an ongoing battle that we see more and more in the industry about how women are treated, how women are portrayed. Hey, I'm a big girl. I get the struggle. Like, I'm never going to be skinny. I'm never going to meet those expectations. It's not going to happen. That's why forever I was behind the camera and didn't want to come sit out here with you. It makes me super self-conscious all the time. I cry every time I try to go to Hot Topic and try something on. They have the most super awesome clothes and stuff that do not fit big people. It's just something that right now you have to live with.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's exclusive to girls. We talk about it more for girls because I think there's more shaming for girls, but I don't think it's something that only happens with girls.
You're shaming for guys?
Definitely. You and I have friends that are very large guys that have had some very mean things happen to them because they're very large.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's less media shaming. Let's go there.
Mm-hmm.
Because John
It's
Goodman
more-
was like acceptable.
It's more
and
acceptable.
It's more acceptable to be a
man
big man than it is to be a big
Yeah.
woman. Because we're not as desirable, which is totally not true.
Mm-mm.
Technically speaking, genetically speaking, bigger women, larger hips, we are more genetically desirable because we can go through the birthing process better. But that's from a genetic standpoint.
Genetics.
Genetics. Science teacher for the win.
Science!
But again, I digress. So we're talking about girls and movies and Disney movies.
We're
hear
talking
Emma
about
Watson's
Dumbo.
and Emma Watson's gonna be Belle in Beauty and the Beast, which I'm
Yeah.
super psyched for. I'm gonna have like
Well, I
a girl
hear
like
she's,
geek out moment.
She's like a real feminist activist.
She is highly
And,
intelligent. Really, she will speak her mind. She'll say what has to be said. She is one of the ones that she'll say it. She'll say what has to be said. So that's nice. I don't really care. I'm sorry. That sounded awful. I'm more interested in seeing.
Yeah.
I want my movie stars to be silent. I don't need to know what your $1 million opinion is. Just make movies and make me happy.
I don't care about what you care about.
No.
Don't push your political beliefs on me.
Don't push your agendas just because you're rich and you have a platform. I don't know. That's me personally. What else were we going to talk about tonight? Talk about a lot of stuff.
We also saw we also saw the dog. We also saw a Walking Dead. We saw the last episode.
See The Walking Dead.
The last
First,
week's
before I
episode.
spoil The Walking Dead for everybody who hasn't seen it so far,
Namely Al.
Al, the
I'm
producer.
not listening.
I would just like to complain about the number of episodes we get nowadays on these TV shows. Maybe that makes me old. Okay, I'm going to have my old lady rant moment for a minute here. But it seems like we've only had 3 episodes, and then there are only 3 episodes left.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
aren't the
they're
seasons
so
like
short.
a full... They're short. And I realize there's a lot of production value and all that stuff. But supposedly it stems from like way back when they had the writer's strike and everything, and they shortened everything, and then they just kept going with it being short like that. I don't like that. And I'm not one of these kids. All the kids, our kids, my little teacher friends that are kids.
I'll just
Hi,
wait
I love
until it
y'all.
comes out on Netflix.
There you go. Just like Vince said. I'll wait until it comes out on Netflix.
But I won't. I
I'll sit down for
have to
6 hours.
see it every week.
I do too. I
when
think
it
that's an
comes
old
out.
people
And
thing
if I can avoid recording it, then I'll recording it because I want to watch it live,
like as it's
like
going
as
on.
it's happening.
This week's episode I thought was really good. Don't be upset, Al. Nobody died.
I'm not listening.
Nobody died. You do find out, or you do get, I think, a deeper glimpse of how scary Rick and his crew really have become. And I liked that they said that little line a couple of episodes ago where he was like, "We are the Walking Dead."
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people assumed that the Walking Dead were the walkers, were the zombies.
The zombies.
But it's Rick and his crew. They're the Walking Dead.
Yeah, they've always been the Walking Dead.
Yeah, they've lost, even though they try so hard to hold on to this grasp of humanity, they want to do what they should do. Now they're in this situation where they have to go to this party with all these people and they have huge social anxiety because they're not from this world anymore. They're not from it.
They're just not used to that interaction any longer.
No, they almost prefer to leave the gates and go out and fight the zombies.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this whole horse analogy that I won't ruin for you, Al, but it is pretty sad. I mean, all the lovely ladies love Daryl as it is. Norman Reedus is super hot. Sorry.
Finally take a shower.
He does finally shower, which makes him even hotter. Ish. I don't know. Dirty guy. Anyway, I digress. There's this whole horse analogy. I'm not going to get into it, but those of you that watched it, you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying not to ruin it for the producer. It symbolizes him, and we kind of know where that was going. Mm-hmm. And then we see Carol.
Wow.
The real
and
Carol.
I posted it on that.
You did, and I died laughing when I saw that. I was like, she scared the crap out of me. Like, if I was that little boy, I
knew she was kind of a badass, but I never thought she would take it to that extreme.
She went so far.
And it's not necessarily anything she did. It's just what she said she would do.
Yeah. Just the fact that she came up with all of that.
Or would you like
loud.
a dozen cookies?
Yeah.
That I bake for you.
And then you laugh because then it's like Eddie Izzard. Cake or death? I'll take death. No, wait, cake. I meant cake. So, yeah, she was really, really intimidating, which is good to see. Because we're always talking
you
about...
probably don't want to read anything that's happening down in the chat room right now.
Don't read the chats, Al. Don't
okay.
look.
Not reading the chats.
And Lazy Bear, we're going to get to what you're talking about right now in a bit. So let me just put that out there. We're already up to episode 13 this season, and finally, will be the finale will be 90 minutes long.
Yep.
So that's going to be cool.
That will be cool. It just
and that was from
short.
Buck.
It seems short, right?
It seems short.
Are we at episode 13? Really? Doesn't seem like they've had that many episodes.
Well, they did the break too.
Oh, right. I guess I don't count that.
You just kind of, it's a new season.
Yeah, it's a new season.
Start it up again. It's a new season.
Again.
I'm
still traumatized by Beth. I think I thought Herschel was like the worst one. I thought I can't go through another one of these. And then Beth, I don't know. I don't know if it was just like the way they all reacted when he carried her out. I think that was the thing that really...
I think that's one of the things that pushed all of them to where
they are right now.
Right now.
Yeah, it was just more than they could bear. Because even Maggie looks like because Maggie was always still kind of soft and kind and tender and...
What at the end of which Al did see the episode before, at the end of that one, well, if stuff doesn't go our way, then we'll just take it.
Well, that's totally Rick.
Yeah.
I mean, Rick's been a little off ever since Judith's birth and all of that stuff that happened there, and he was a little cuckoo and talking to his dead wife and everything. So Rick has always been a little...
No, but he was kind of okay until Herschel.
You think?
That's when he...
I mean, I think, Herschel helped
when he saw that really pushed him over the edge.
Yeah. And then, okay, and then to
Because he
find
was
out
trying
that
to work
you've
it
been
out. He was
following
trying to.
this doctor thinking, this scientist thinking that you're going to get to a cure, and to find out you've been lied to all the time, that's got to also, like, mess with you. And yeah, I mean, they've been through so much. There's almost not one thing you can pinpoint that
Yeah.
turns them into what they are.
The one thing that I haven't seen that I've been missing is what's his name is at the beginning of the season was following behind them
Oh yeah, the guy from season 1.
from season 1. I forget his name.
Morgan. Thank you, Al.
They haven't shown anything since that first
episode. So eventually, yeah, we're gonna have to meet up
So
with him.
is he
too.
going to be in the finale or what's going on?
Maybe. And
Well,
then
he
what's
was,
his?
He was following the notes saying that they were going to Washington, D.C. So,
Mhm.
Yeah, he found the map, and we saw him kind of laughing about that, right? So he's there on their heels. It's just a matter
Well, they were
of
they were still going in that direction though.
yeah, they're in that general direction.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in Virginia.
Yeah. Crazy, crazy time.
So I had this big scientific discussion with class the other day because they love to talk zombie apocalypse. So what are your scientific thoughts on these zombies sustaining for such a long time? I mean, they are dead. The tissue's got to rot.
It's got to rot.
They're in the Georgia heat. When they were originally, they were in Georgia. I mean, maybe up north they're lasting a little bit longer, but
No, but even then, I mean, eventually your body gets rid of all of its blood, all of its liquids, or else you'd have to constantly be eating. But even then, you wouldn't be able to renew yourself. You'd just be moistening.
because the cells are dead.
The cells are dead.
So yeah,
They wouldn't last.
which is
that
nice.
long.
I like that these kinds of shows can lead the students to a scientific discussion because they ask me these kinds. Of course, first they ask like, what do we have in the classroom that we could survive on, and we do like little zombie apocalypse scenarios.
Their muscles would rip and tear and snap because they just wouldn't have the elasticity.
Mm-hmm.
So they wouldn't be able to move.
Yeah, they wouldn't grab or move or.
Mm-mm.
I find it.
They wouldn't have strength.
far-fetched. I like it as a concept, but I find it far-fetched. I like The Walking Dead, although I think I'm getting towards the end of my zombie tolerance. But we go back and forth: zombie, vampire.
Werewolf.
Werewolf,
Sparkly vampire.
Werewolf, not as much. I don't think werewolf gets as much play as vampire and zombie. Werewolf is kind of like a side character. I know you and I watched Teen Wolf for a while. I kind of liked that adaptation. At first, I was kind of mad that it wasn't like Michael J. Fox-ish.
And people didn't really don't like that. For some
really
reason.
don't
But
like
I think
that.
it's people that haven't seen it.
Maybe. Just as a concept, they didn't like
As
it.
a concept, they don't like it.
I liked it. I was trying to think, is there any other werewolf, like American Werewolf in London? What's the other one? Where it's the werewolf and the vampire? Underworld.
Yes.
Underworld's pretty good.
Yeah.
The first one's good. Second one is okay.
Second one's okay. And then they all kind of went downhill.
And then they all kind of go downhill.
And then when they got rid of Kate Beckinsale, then
No
it didn't
point
do
to
too well.
watching
And
it
then
at
they
all.
brought her back, and then it was like, well, it's all right. But I
don't
hear they're
think-
doing another one.
Really?
Yeah. Again, movie heavy
Oh, sorry.
this episode.
I have movies on the brain. It's
but
spring
talking
break,
about
so-
movies, I do have one more movie.
Oh, okay.
Well, we heard that Ghostbusters was going to
Girls.
have all girls. They're going to have all guys Ghostbuster movie. They're going to have 2 movies, but the kicker is going to be the all women Ghostbusters movie.
So is it going to be a reboot, or are the girls like the daughters of the original dudes?
I
How's
don't
that
know.
gonna work?
I know Dan Aykroyd has something to do with it. He might be acting in this one. But
The male
from what
cast.
I hear, yeah. But from what I hear, that who they're looking at right now is Channing Tatum as like the main character. And why are they putting him in everything right?
Because he's hot. Okay, I said it. He's super hot and it makes people drool. But he is suited to Step Up. He's suited to Magic Mike. He was okay in G.I. Joe. He was all right.
Yeah.
But I don't think he needs to be in Ghostbusters. I don't think that they should just be selling us movies based on his hotness. I mean, I love Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray. I love you guys, but really not hot. Not funny. Like, that was what we went. It was funny. Rick Moranis, funny. You know, you go for that kind of stuff. It was hilarious. It was their chemistry. It was the acting. So, but I'm trying to think if there are even any actors nowadays that even rival that kind of talent or can bring that kind of like who can we think of who's young-ish, who's that kind of funny?
What's his name from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Chris
Pratt.
Chris
I
Pratt,
think-
he could
and
pull something
he's-
like that.
and they've
but
been
he's
talking
in too
to
much
him.
stuff too.
They've been talking to him too. Well, he's going to be in the. He's in the
new Jurassic
World.
Looks so good. Yeah, that as a premise looks good.
Yeah,
I like that.
but I think he has the comedic stylings that would.
He does. He has
be
that
on
kind of
par with-
arrogance. He could be Bill Murray's.
Yes,
Yeah.
he could be Venkman.
What's the dude from Lonely Island? Samburn. Yeah, he's kind of funny. I could see him doing one of the parts. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I could probably assemble my own Ghostbusters cast and maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of over Jim Carrey.
I don't know. I liked him in Kick-Ass too.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
I really liked him
that.
because he was so not him.
But he kind of was him. Way of not being him.
I don't know. Looking at him, it doesn't look like
No,
him.
like at first you
doesn't
don't know
sound
it's him.
like him.
Kind of. He kind of does some of his mannerisms. I don't think he can help it, but yeah, you kind of pick up that it's him. So that kid from Kick-Ass, he'd be pretty good. Or maybe the little kids from Superbad. They're kind of funny. McLovin could be Egan. Yes, McLovin could be Egan. Okay, I'm totally down. Okay, we could do this. But yeah, like it has to be funny, like weird funny dudes. Like I don't know. So why have you heard why they feel like they need to do both? Was there such an uproar about the girls? Or
Apparently that this was always in the works.
oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
And then they wanted
But
to
what
do it lady
they
style.
but they want to plan more for that. They want to do like a TV series. They want to do market it with like toys and games and do the whole.
Well,
gambit of
Cryptozoic's
everything.
got that game on Kickstarter right now that they're doing the Ghostbusters. I don't remember if it's a deck builder but they're doing a Ghostbusters game. No, I think it's a board game.
board game.
Game because they're gonna have the pieces and everything. So, what's the anniversary? So I can see that being a thing.
Yeah.
So isn't it? Or last year was the anniversary for
They
Back
need
to
to
the
make
Future.
it a good game though.
Because
There's all these games that they put out. Oh, it's this anniversary of such and such, or it's off of a movie. But
Off
they
a
need to
movie,
make it good.
like let's throw it together.
yeah.
I want a game like, old school lab style with some slime where they can slime you, like Slimer comes around the corner. I used to
Thomas
love that cartoon.
says that McLovin is Egan. I could see that.
Yay, see?
I could see it.
I get it, yes. I liked the cartoon. Did you watch the cartoon?
Yes.
With Slimer and stuff?
Yes.
I love the cartoon. Again, back to the animated stuff, but that's me. I like the animated.
I also remember, and I keep coming back to this, is there was a cartoon before all of that called The Real Ghostbusters. And it had like a gorilla.
There was a live action Saturday morning show before the cartoon with the same cast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it all
Real
starts somewhere,
Ghostbusters.
which I think is funny. Because even though I've taught that to the kids like a million times, I have to teach my students. It started with a book, or this started with this, or this started somewhere else. Even I, as an adult, sometimes watch something and don't realize that until somebody else tells me, well, really, there was this other thing. before that led to that, and so it's interesting.
About 20
to
years
see.
ago.
Yeah, it's interesting to see where it all comes from. So
Yeah, I like it.
so Ghostbusters, Dumbo, lots of movies, Settlers of Catan, tabletop games,
Yeah.
Game Expo,
Game Expo.
Lost in Wonderland, more tea parties, please.
More tea parties. What's happening right now? Anything going on?
That's a good question. I haven't seen any events coming up. What is it, March? I'm really involved right now with International Tabletop Day on April 11th. So that's like really in the forefront of my mind right now.
And then we're really doing all this stuff with Game Expo, so.
Yeah, trying to get Game Expo.
Duh.
MizumiCon. Yeah.
MizumiCon is
Forgot
this
all about
Saturday.
It's this Saturday?
Is it?
Next Saturday. Next Saturday. I was like, you gave me a heart attack. I'm not ready for MizumiCon.
Good.
Yes.
Good. That gives me
MizumiCon
more
is
time to
next
actually
Saturday.
get a banner made.
Yeah.
So I just finished it, I think, tonight or earlier before the show.
Yeah.
And that's why I was rushing to get all this ready for the show.
So maybe the audience should give us suggestions of what you should cosplay as. You know, he does have a Ghostbusters cosplay.
I do have a
He does.
Ghostbuster cosplay.
He does have a Ghostbusters cosplay, so maybe you should go as that. That would be pretty funny. And I have my steampunk Cheshire Cat, so that would be my Alice in Wonderland.
Do it.
We'll have to do some game-inspired cosplay. You have a Solid Snake cosplay, too, actually, come to think of it.
I don't know if I can fit into that anymore. I was much younger then.
Much younger when you used to do that cosplay, so we'll bring Al, and he can be his redneck Jedi. That's pretty funny. If you guys haven't seen that yet, that's pretty funny. So, yeah. So we should do some cosplay, and then we haven't had some cosplayers on in a while. So if you're out there and you do cosplay and you'd like to be on and talk to us, let us know. Let us know.
We're looking for some new guests. Have you come to our home studio and come talk with us.
Yeah, we can talk about more than movies, we promise.
We talked a little bit about, we talked about just movies.
Yeah, mostly
Game Expo.
movies and